this is me, barefaced, no makeup whatsoever. Here are my eyebrows, pretty natural, nothing fancy about them. And I often get a lot of questions about my eyebrows, how I get them to look as fabulous as I usually do. And it's really easy, so I'm going to show you today, and then just go ahead and put on a full face of makeup, what I would normally wear. So let's get started. So usually I use a spoolie to brush up my eyebrows to make sure that they are neat. I try to avoid plucking my eyebrows. When I was younger, my grandmother used to say, if you keep plucking your eyebrows, when you get old, you won't have any. And I think she was right, because just like waxing, if you always get an area of your body waxed, that area stops growing hair, or it grows back really thin. So instead, I think it's okay to shave your eyebrows if you need to, but I tend to avoid plucking or waxing my eyebrows. Usually put on some MAC primer or any primer of your choice, usually above my eyelids. And I often, I'm not a makeup artist. Again, I'm just a woman who loves makeup and has been wearing makeup pretty much most of my life. So I put a lot of the primer above my eyelid and also above or near my eyebrows. That way when I shape them, the color or whatever I use on my eyelids tends to stay on longer. So I never thought, this was such a big deal, but once I started using primer on my eyelids, it's totally worth it, because then your makeup lasts all day. Now some people also put on primer on their face, the entire face, but I don't really do that because I don't wear heavy makeup. It's usually head and start penciling in my eyebrows. So I usually use a simple brown pencil, and I don't know if you can see this well. There you go. But it's a simple pencil, and as you can see, it's almost finished. I really need to replace it, but I really love this pencil. So let's see. What I usually do, and let's make sure I get up close, is just on the edges, I will go along and under, sort of to shape it in the direction I want, like that. So I am very light with the pencil. I don't put too much on, because my natural eyebrow is already arched, so I don't really have to do too much. I just go ahead and, again, just make it a little bit more defined. And then I might fill in some of the brow. Okay, just like that, nothing to it. Once I've done that, then I go with my spoolie again, and I kind of blend it all in so that I don't have any blank spots, but also so that it looks natural. There should be no hard pencil lines. There you go. And if you look closer, you'll see I do have some hair eyebrows growing. It's not perfect, but again, I avoid plucking it, because once I put my concealer, it will cover it up. So I don't feel like I have to pluck my eyebrows and make them perfect anymore, because I have makeup. Okay, so once we've done that, now we go in with our concealer to clean it all up. This one by Lancome. But I've also learned to use this, which is a lot cheaper. This one is by Maybelline, and it's just a lighter color than my skin, just slightly lighter. And I like to dab some on my hand, like that. And then I just take my concealer brush. It's has a fairly sharp or fine point to it. Take a little bit, a little goes a long way, and then I just follow it along my brow. And do I do this every day? No. Sometimes I just stop with the pencil. And I just go underneath the brow like that and kind of clean it up and kind of define the shape that I want. I also may go above the brow. And again, I don't do this all the time, every day, but if I have the time or it's a special occasion, then I do that. So it's up to you what you want the shape to look like. Now obviously if I stopped like this would look super crazy. So we don't stop here, you gotta blend. This is where blending comes in. I tend to use the brush initially to clean it up and blend it, kind of bring it, pull it downwards. Oops, and I took off some of it there. And then I tend to use my finger to blend it in with the rest of my skin. So that's what I do. You know, everybody may do it differently, but this is what I do. Okay, now obviously there is a little bit too much concealer. It is a little bit too light, but you get the picture. Once you start putting your foundation on and blending some more, it will look amazing. So see the difference? Now I'm going to finish my second eyebrow and then we'll come back and do the rest of the face. So I have both of my brows done, as you can see. I think what's important is to make sure that you smudge the edges so that it's not so harsh. So I always try to smudge the edge so that it's not so harsh. I can't stand when I see people leave the house with this area so sharp and defined, or you see the eyebrows connecting. Yeah, so try to kind of smudge it at the edges so that it just looks a lot more natural, like it gradually thickens up. All right, so we're done with the eyebrows. What next? Okay, so the next thing I like to focus on is my eyelids. So we already have primer on it, but sometimes I will also go ahead and apply a little bit of concealer. It just forms a nice blank canvas, a lighter shade than my skin color. And I do a lot of application with my hands. I know some people like to use brushes and sponges, but I tend to prefer using my hands, because I can always wash my hands, and sometimes those brushes you know, get dirty or you get too much color on it. Of course you can just wash it, but you know, I can do the same with my hands. Of course sometimes you do need a brush. Okay, so there you go. I've got my concealer on, and now I'm ready to apply some color. Start off with a light color, and I'm just going to put that on the top of my lid. And this is going to be a daytime look, daytime natural look. So just make sure you blend it well. And one of my favorite colors, you can see I've used it so much, is this kind of golden brown. And I use that as a great transition color in the top middle of my eyelid. So right there. And I start off focusing the color in the outer corners of my lid. I tend to color correct, and this is a product by MAC, Prime and Prep by MAC. You can find these in other brands, or you can use a concealer that has a reddish tone if that's what works for you. But I always color correct because as you know, many women of color, we get the dark areas around the mouth or under the eye. It looks like. So I just take it along my laugh lines, and this makes me feel like I'm going to war. This is like fighting paint, and I put it underneath my eye. And what I find honestly is that this product just makes those dark circles disappear, or dark lines. And I know for those of you who don't do this, right now I'm looking a little crazy. But can you see how it kind of changes the color of my skin? So I then blend it with my hands, yet again, my favorite tool, my hands, or my fingers. And those dark lines or dark areas tend to disappear. So this is something you do under your foundation. Okay. So it almost looks like I'm wearing foundation, doesn't it? So for my foundation, I'm going to be using this by CoverGirl. Again, this is drugstore brand, Classic Tan. And sometimes I put it directly on my face, and other times I will use one of these sponges. Now I start off in the middle of my lid, because you don't want it to be too thick when you start at the corner. Once you've taken off some of the makeup, then you move it towards the corner of your eye. And you can pull it out as far as you want and make it as thick as you want or as fine as you want. But classically, this is how I do mine. So it's not too harsh. Mascara next for those long lashes. Now a lot of girls or women wear the falsies, and I rarely do. I honestly rarely wear false eyelashes. Today for you I might though, but I'm gonna start off with just mascara. So we'll be wearing these. So here's the final look. This lipstick's not bad, but I want something darker. So let's see. So this is Bordeaux by Rimmel, London Rimmel. And this is my evening lipstick makeup, and basically this is what I do. It's not that fancy. I don't use expensive products. Most of them are drugstore products, and you can definitely find them and use them yourself. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was really nice of you to stay and watch with me. And if you really do enjoy these type of videos, please leave me a comment below. I always read your comments, and also please give me a thumbs up. I will try to do more videos like this. I have, as you know, a daughter, and it's kind of hard to get her to do hair videos with me, but I'm going to try to see if I can do more hair videos with her also. So make sure you check out my hair channel, Hair by Habiba, to see how I do my hair. I bet you the next time you see me, I will have something different going on with this head of mine, as I am getting tired of this bushy hair. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this makeup look, and please come back soon and I will bring you lots more. God bless.